Oh, say, can you hear?
Yet another red light.
Well, I'm gonna spill all
The secrets you're holding
About the spaceships up there and the aliens down here and all history,
which is totally fake.
I tell you, I don't know if I brought this up here. I had an abduction. Happen on me I had two incidents. Did I talk about the public parking lot yet? I didn't talk about that in 2013, right? I was in the parking lot of my office in 2013, sometime around May. And there is an open field in front of the parking lot. Right out here inside the 290 Jones area. And what happened was, I was sitting there and all of a sudden I see some type of a image, like an area of the sky kind of darkened for a second, almost looked like some ship was in the sky, and I saw this gray alien that was a tall gray just walking right toward me, coming right toward me, and I see him lift his hand and I was blacked out. I don't know what happened after that. I just woke up inside my car about an hour later and everything was on, like, what the heck was that? I just saw something. There was another incident. This happened the same night after I met Jim Sparks. I went to the ARE Center, saw that. And I was laying in bed about to sleep, and all of a sudden, I couldn't move. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm like, all of a sudden, I couldn't move my limbs. So here comes this little gray walking in here, coming in the room. I see him walk inside and coming in here. And he looks at me, and he sticks his three fingers right against, and goes like this. Just put his fingers right, he goes, shh. I could hear him literally, he goes, shh. Okay? And I just blacked out and woke up the next morning. I don't know what he did. I don't know if I had induction, but what I did notice was, it took me 2 weeks later, I noticed that I had this implant right here. And I can feel it right underneath the skin. There's one right here. Okay?
Yes,
you feel
right
it?
there.
Right. That was the first one out. So I got up in the morning and looked and saw this thing here bulging out at the side of my chest. And normally I don't feel, but I've been exercising and dieting down and dropping body fat. So the implants are sticking out now where I can literally see them. Yeah. So, yeah.
Show us where they are.
Okay, there's one at the side of the pec right here. There's one on the external oblique right here. And there's one right here. And there's one in my ears, but you can't feel this one. This one is actually deep inside my skull right here, about 1.5 inches in right there in my ears. Yeah. That's the only real proof of something I've ever heard of.
Why do they put 4 implants in you? Wouldn't one do?
From what I understand is that, well, they use them to track me, physically track me. They use them, some of them are in there to report the condition of the body and send radio waves information back to them. The one in the ears is for them to let me know where to meet them to prevent things from happening. If something's about to happen, it'll give off a certain frequency click where I can tell based on the click what it means. I've learned over the past 10 years since it got installed, what each click and each version click that happens, I can tell what each one means. Like, be careful when you're driving on the road, something may happen. You're coming in contact with a certain type of person that may not be a good person. There's just all sorts of, there's just a lot of stuff I can tell from it. This one that's up here is the most important one, because that one keeps me out of danger.
Talk about how they protected you when you slept in your car.
Well, crap. I knew something weird was going on, because the psychic said something one time that what was happening was, I got to explain. I have to explain to the people have to know, why am I sleeping in my car? Let me tell you what happened here. This is a topic right here that I didn't want to get into too much, but I have to be honest with people, let people know, because if I'm not honest with them, they're going to say this guy is just full of shit, whatever. Okay, all right. When 2011 came around, the whole economy was so wrecked, I ended up in a foreclosure type of situation. I was here asking myself right here. I had one friend say to me, if you're in contact with aliens, why aren't they giving you money and helping you? That's not why they're here. Aliens don't come here to give people money. So they said to me through these downloads, you will figure it out and solve the problem, which I did, of course. So for about 2.5 years, I would go to my office, run my own business, and the only way to recover from what had happened was to sleep in my car and not sleep in a house or an apartment. And I would sleep in my car outside my office, and I didn't like it, and I had to do it, and I knew, because while this was going on, I was building the business right back up, and business was gradually increasing and building right back up, where I was going to get out of the jam completely and get back right back up on my feet, which did happen. But during the time when it happened, one night, one of my friends, Grady, that lived in the apartment complex across the street from where I was at with his girlfriend, I was sitting in the parking lot, and Grady was meeting up with me because me and him were going to head out to go grab something to eat. So it was about 8:30 in the afternoon, sometime around the fall of 2013, sometime around this time here, October time frame. So, you know, night was coming out fast. So I called Grady on the phone. I said, Grady, hey, come over to the parking lot and come pick me up. So I saw Grady drive by inside the truck. Because remember now, the psychic lady says that your car is being cloaked at nighttime where people cannot see your car in the parking lot. And that just sounded, when I heard that, I thought that just sounded like a bunch of nonsense. I didn't think that was possible. Even with all that I've experienced, you know, with everything going on. So Grady drove by, and I saw him U-turn, and he drove by because he's just less than 100 feet away from me. And I see him going, he goes, hey. He goes, hey, I don't see your car. I'm like, what do you mean you don't see my car? And I'm on the phone. I'm like, look over. So he stops for a second. He's looking, goes, I don't see your car. So he enters and comes into the parking lot. And right when he's 2 car lengths away, he goes, holy crap, I see him hit the brake. He goes, what the heck? I've been looking over here the whole time. Where's your car? I said, you can't see the car? He goes, right up to it. I went right up to it. I saw it. And he's not crazy. He's completely freaking sane. If anybody is crazy, it would be me, not him, right? So that right there was really a surprise. I wasn't expecting that right there. But that really freaked him out. He was like, man, this alien stuff you're talking about. He was interested. I was telling him all that was going on. He's like, what the heck? How come? He goes, how could your car be invisible? I'm looking, because I saw him drive up the U-turn, came around twice looking. He thought that I was telling him. He goes, are you in the parking lot, or do I need to meet you in the parking lot? I said, I'm in here, I'm sitting in my car. So that was really strange. So apparently they were doing some funky stuff like that out there for some reason. Yeah. I'm going to talk about something about human evolution, something that will make sense. It has been brought to my attention over the past, I'd say 4 years, that there is a species split on the planet. Let me tell you what I mean by this. You have people that have evolved, and they've become higher consciousness humans, and they are aware of everything going on. They're monitoring the government, they're monitoring the financial systems, they're monitoring wars, they're monitoring the environment, they're monitoring everything going on the planet. They're monitoring the bad people in the government trying to take down the good people in the government. They're monitoring the bad people trying to erode our constitution. All these things that are going on, they're monitoring all this. These people are awake. They have evolved. They believe in extraterrestrials. They know something is going on. They know the government's doing bad things. They know all these things. These people have evolved and become like a new species. Is basically what's happened. And I'll give you an idea. Coming up here, this is going to become a lot more serious starting from, it actually started happening from about 2014 time frame. So the species is literally going to split off. And the evolved groups are going to be interacting with other men and women that are higher conscious and evolved. And they're going to produce a generation of kids that will carry the new DNA, the new information, which will be the new thinkers. Okay, if this makes sense. Okay, so there's a split going on, and by the time 2025 comes around, it's just going to split right off. This is a very big, important thing right here. The government knows about this. They know about this right now. This is going to happen. Now, this isn't just happening here in the United States. This is happening in every country around the globe. It's happening in the Middle East. It's happening in Iran. It's happening in Europe. It's happening in the UK. It's happening in Australia. It's happening in Central America. Every single country on the ground level, people from all different ages. People, it's happening to kids 10 years old, in their teens, late teens, 20s, going all the way up. People even in their 60s and 70s are starting to wake up now. And eventually it'll reach a point where it's over 50% of the entire global population is thinking similarly, while this other 50% or 49% is completely locked in that mindset where they're never going to evolve, and that will happen eventually over the next 25 years.
Say, can you finally
Start telling us the truth.
Protect our civil liberties and
all war?